Hello. We're doing a passage called Chinstrap penguin population in the last 50 years. All right. So it's about the population called Chinstrap. All right. Type of penguin called Chinstrap. All right. So we have like this question set. All right. It says which paragraph contains the following information. This is one of the All right, this is one of the questions we looked at in the course, and then the other one is true, false, not given, and then notes completion. All right, let's look at each question set and see what they're about. All right, I don't know why it stopped sharing all of a sudden, but anyway, yes, we're gonna continue. I ended up pressing the wrong button. The highest temperatures ever. All right, highest temperatures ever. The difference between current and past records on penguin population. Places where people cannot go to. What places cannot do? Places where chinstrap penguins live. All right. Measures to protect ocean species. Measures to protect ocean species. So what kind of solutions? Factors contributing to the decline in the amount of food available. All right. And then description of a species, specific species. Okay, they're describing a specific species. So which one is that? The IUCN showed little concern about IUCN showed little concern about the fall in the penguin numbers. All right. Climate change is the reason for the changes in the food chain, chinstrap penguins. Climate change is the reason. It's the climate change is one of the reasons for the change in the food chain of penguins. Okay, as usual, like what I'm doing, guys, I'm looking at the questions and reading all questions with the goal of finding one word that I cannot miss. All right. So next one is Gentoo penguins are not affected by climate change. All right. When they talk about Gentoo penguins, I'm going to look at this one. All right. So one word only one word. Greenpeace has been used to record the what? Record the something, all right, of marine life over the world. Carry something overseas. They carry something overseas, and then build something to protect many surveyed colonies. All right. So Greenpeace, when they talk about Greenpeace ship, I'm going to look at the questions, but otherwise I'm going to stay focused. If you remember the way, okay, like by the way, it turns out we need to put A, B, C, E, all right. I think it's got to be like this. D, E, F. So where was it? E, F, G, and then H, because it says that I'm paragraphs A to H. All right, let's go. So at this point, the chinstrap penguin has a cap of black plumage, a white face, and a continuous band of black feathers extending from one side of the head to another chinstrap. I think that's it. That's like, if you pay attention what they're doing, they're describing as one specific species, and that's all right. For God's sake, please, can you stop playing with it? All right, guys. So you see, immediately I noticed it's a description of a specific species. The specific species in mind is like at hand is, and they're describing it. It has a black plumage. It has white face, continuous battle like black feathers. So that's going to be 7. 7 is going to be A. All right. Rahona, can you stop playing with it? The northern part of the Antarctic Peninsula, several Antarctic subterraneans and the uninhabited islands are the habitats of the species. That's the way they live. Places where chinstrap penguins live, that's again A as well, because I did mention all of these places. They live in these places. That's habitat means place for something, right? Place where some species lives. All right. They didn't mention Ikuin. They didn't mention the ship, so I'm going to continue reading. Antarctic penguins colonies in some parts of Antarctica have declined over the last 50 years, mostly because of climate change, researchers say. That's because of climate change, they say. The colonies of chinstrap penguins, also known as ringed or bearded penguins, okay, that's another name for them, have dramatically dropped since they were last surveyed 50 years ago. Scientists discovered the findings became surprising because all right, um, all right, finding at this point it's getting annoying, honestly, because people keep joining, and I will not accept anybody at this point. Nobody will get accepted now. The findings became surprising because why has it become surprising? Because until now, chinstrap have been deemed of least concern by the international. So they said they were not worried that it would get lost. Okay, they were not worried, showed little concern about the fall. We really did not know what to expect, and we found it's a huge decline. And an ornithologist told CNN, it's a little bit worrying as it means that something is shifting in the ecosystem, and then the fall in the thing is reflecting the shift. It's a little bit worrying. Okay, it's a little bit worrying. So it's a little bit worrying means showed little concern. All right, the chinstrap have been deemed of least concern by the international. So it's the least concern means it's like not really something they're worried about. Because until now, that was their least concern. Because they didn't expect didn't know what to expect, and then found this huge decline. That there was a huge decline. This guy at university told CNN ship from Greenpeace's Esperanza ship in Antarctica. It's a little bit worrying that something is shifting in the ecosystem, and the fall is reflecting that shift. All right. Could it be 8 is from here? Definitely 8 is from here, but I need to look at the highest temperatures. They didn't talk about the difference between current and past record on penguin population. Could be here, like I mean, could be B, because why, guys? Do you think it could be? All right. Yeah, guys. All right. So if you look at it, what it's saying 50 years ago, um, since 50 years ago, the numbers have declined, right? Colonies of chinstrap penguins, also known as ringed or bearded penguins, have dramatically dropped since they were last surveyed almost 50 years ago. The findings became surprising because that wasn't any of their worry, right? So places people cannot go to, that's not, this could be B. I don't like measures to protect, nothing about that, nothing about the decline in the amount of food. So, but I do have 8. I'm gonna choose 8 honestly later, like when I'm too sure, because I'm not really too sure now. Every colony of Elephant Island, which is crucial penguin habitat northeast of the Antarctic Peninsula, so that's where this group of animals they when surveyed experienced population fall as per the independent researchers. That's what the independent researchers are saying, who joined Greenpeace expedition to the region. Elephant Island was last surveyed in 1971 that were pairs of penguins across all colonies. So that back then there was this many colonies. However, the recent count, this will dropped almost 50%. All right, this with a drop. This could be it too. The difference between records, current and past. On Elephant Island, the size of population change varied from colony, and the most significant decline was recorded, which is this percent. Oh, that's a lot, right? So this could be, I think I like the answer C for this one, because the past records, so like in the past, this was this many numbers. Right now, this many numbers of penguins. So I believe for 2, it's that's the difference. All right. Just the days after the temperatures hit an all-time high, all right, the latest study is published. That's all-time high. The all-time high is centered for the highest temperatures ever. So the answer is going to be for the first one is the all-time high is centered for the highest, right? The previous high was this in March. The scientists recorded the temperature, the research according to the meteorological agency of the country. So yeah, I think one is definitely D because they're talking about the hit all-time high, the previous high, etc. All right, so I'm gonna move down. The reduced sea ice and warmer oceans due to climate change have led to less krill. Krill is the main component of the diet of this fish, I mean this penguin. So reduced sea ice and what else? Like warmer oceans due to climate change have led to less krill, right? Yeah, that's the factors. The two factors are like, one of them is climate change. All right. Climate change is probably the underlying factor, and the effects are rippling through the food chain. Penguins, seals, and whales all depend on climate, which depend on ice. So climate change affects the ice and it impacts on everything else. This guy, associate professor of ecology and evolution, and one of the expedition's research leads, said such significant declines suggest that Southern Ocean's ecosystem has fundamentally changed in the last, and the impacts of this are rippling up the food web to species like penguins. She added that while factors may have been other factors, all the evidence have pointed to climate change as being responsible for changes we are seeing now. All right, so but the main culprit, the main thing is what's the main thing is the um climate change. Climate change is the reason, so the answer is going to be definitely true for this one. All right, true. So yes, because they're blaming like it for the
That we have pointed to climate change as being responsible for the change we're seeing. Yeah, sure.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I've been speaking without the. All right, just a second. Just a second. Yes. Um, can I zoom in the passage? Yes, exactly. I guess Muhammad Jones is right. Please unmute yourself. Like, just respect, show some respect for others. Um, all right. Yeah, I think I chose 6 for E. Like, all right. What about 6? What about 6 if somebody is asking? All right, what about 6? What about 6? Let's look at it. Yeah, 6 I chose E, like because here they're talking about how climate change and other factors might be playing a role. And I chose 9 as true as well. But for 8, we need to show they show little concern. All right. So I'm gonna come back to that. Like I said, I'm not really too sure about it. So that's why I'm going to come back to it later. However, some good news was also there. Some good news, people. Some good news. What kind of good news? Let's see. The researchers reported an increase in the gentoo penguins populations. And it's interesting as a tale of two penguins. Gentoo is a species from further north. They appear to be colonizing. They're actually increasing in numbers. All right. So gentoo penguins actually increasing in number. All right. Mm. All right. So there's nothing about anything. So I guess I'm gonna kick that person out. Chapai. I'm gonna kick him out. All right. Yeah, thank you. Um, all right, just kick him out. So because no respect whatsoever. All right. Yes, I think. No, measures to protect ocean species. They didn't tell us any solutions. Why you're choosing Habibullah F? All right, there's no F, I believe. Like, but gentoo penguins. Let's continue. Like, this is from here. Gentoo penguins are from here, but I'm gonna come back to that. The Greenpeace ship Esperanza has been documenting the threat to the oceans worldwide and taking the scientists traveling abroad. They record is synonym documenting the threat to the oceans worldwide, right? So that's going to be synonym. All right. So that's going to be documenting the threat. All right. Threat is synonym for that, right? Carrying, taking the scientist overseas means scientist. Carrying is synonym for what? Taking. The abroad is overseas. For the first time, the low island in South Island, north of, has been surveyed properly. The manual drone techniques are used by researchers. And to survey significant but relatively unknown colonies of penguin. The results are here, not yet available. Greenpeace has been campaigning for the established to offer protection. This would be off limits to humans. Off limits to humans, like these would be off limits to humans, means that humans cannot go. So that's going to be C, is 3 is going to be G, guys. All right. I also think that measures that to protect species, to ocean species, could be this too, because what they've been doing, the manual drone techniques are used by researchers and to survey significant but no, here the results are not. Let's see the last paragraph. The said in a statement, penguins are an iconic species, but this new research shows how little climate emergency is decimating their numbers and having far-reaching impacts on wildlife. This is a critical year for oceans. Governments must respond to science and agree on a stone. And that's this spring can create a network of ocean sanctuaries to promote marine life and help these creatures adapt to rapidly. All right. This is the kind of measures that to protect ocean species. All right. To protect. So this is create network of ocean sanctuaries to protect marine life. That's synonym for species. So that's going to be H. All right. Now, build something to protect many surveyed colonies. Build what? Create a network. No. Colony service would establish sanctuaries. I think it's sanctuaries. So you guys probably wrote that too. Keyword I think I'm always keeping an eye on, like, in each question, like, guys, like here the keyword is Greenpeace ship. That's unmissable, right? Again, I'm doing it for the first time as well. Like, you see, if I'm never stuck on a question. Like, 8 and 9, I'm gonna come back to them at the end. Like here, build means establish sanctuaries. All right. So the answer is going to be 13. It's going to be that. All right. And finally, like, let's do these two, right? Gentoo penguins are not affected by climate change. Well, are they not affected by climate change? Let's see. Well, however, some good news here, reported an increase in gentoo penguins population in neighboring colonies beyond Elf Island. It's interesting as a tale of two penguins. What do you guys think the answer is for 8 and 10? What do you think the answer is for 8 and 10? So IQ showed little concern. All right. Did they show little concern? We didn't really know. It's a little bit worrying as it means it was the least of their concern. Findings began until now changes have been deemed. 10 is not given. 8 is not given. 8 and true. Like, Ibrahim chose true for both of them. Razak chose 8 not given, 10 not given. Okay, like, let's look at 10 right here. One more mention of Gentoo penguins. The results are Greenpeace, like what? I think 10 is true. I believe 10 is true. No, you're trying to, some of you guys are trying to, I believe, like try to, because it's like you're trying to think that there is one false, there is one not given. No, that's not how it works. I think, well, Gentoo pecans are not affected by climate change because their numbers are increasing, right? Gentoo is a species further from north, and they appear to be colonizing and actually increasing in numbers. So they're not actually affected by climate change. That's true. So 10 is going to be true, right? There's one more question. There's one more question. And that's, I think that's the not given for like 10. 8 is going to be not given because here I chose the wrong part, like it should be 10. And here it says, well, it's a little bit, and this guy is like totally now, it's not IUCN, right? We don't know IUCN's position. Here in the question, it says IUCN showed little concern, but we know it was the least of their concern, but we don't know their response. Ularni bu raqamlarni eshitgandan keyingi javobini bilmaymizda, right? Keyingi javobini bilmaymiz ular. Little concern bo'lganmi? It's a little bit worrying deb turib boshqa odam aytyapti. Kim aytyapti? Noah, ornithologist at Stone Brooks University. Umuman boshqa organizatsiyadan, brat. Bizda IUCNni bizlar bilmaymiz IUCNni nima deganini. Shuning uchun javobimiz not given bo'ldi. All right? Mana shunaqa holatlar ham bo'lar ekan demak bizda. Xo'p, savol nima bo'ldi? True false not given savollarni o'zbekchada aniq tushuntirib oling iltimos. True false not given, true degani passage'dagi informatsiya to'g'ri kelsa savolga. False degani savolni men passage'dagi informatsiya bilan to'g'rilay olsam. Not given degani men to'g'riligiga ham, xatoligiga ham amin bo'la olmasam. All right? Mana shu narsa bo'ladi. Yo, ular of least concern degani nima degani bu yoqda? Hozirgacha xavotirlanmayotgandi bu species haqida. Ularni xavotirida emas edi, chunki like they were okay. But keyin 50 yildan keyin shunday qarasa raqami tushib ketibdi. All right? Yes, can be difficult sometimes, yes. All right, guys, this is it for today. And yes, this was the passage one. We did like quite difficult passage, honestly.